Welcome to Special Guest Thursdays on the Final Boss podcast, where legends pull up, the mic gets hot, and the community gets loud. Each week, your host Turbotheceo goes live with game changers, thought leaders, and culture shifters. From raw interviews to the hottest trending topics, and real talk on community impact. This is where voices rise and stories ignite. So buckle up, press play, and get ready to level up with Turbo. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement.
Welcome to the Final Boss podcast, episode number 129. Tonight is a special guest episode. Tonight, we have joining us the Sensei. And I know you guys are like, wait a minute, he was just on Tuesday. Yes, he was. But he's going to be joining us tonight because we need to finish our conversation from what? Tech Tuesday. So the episode from Tech Tuesday is continuing tonight, and he is our special guest. So he's on his way. And before we get into it, man, I would like to thank each and every last single one of you for your continued support. Please like, share, subscribe, the content, man, on all the channels, no matter where you see us, whether it's on our website, right? On our website, which is here's the Sensei now. Boom. Just like that. Like magic. Hello, sir.
Hey.
Hey. So I'm just getting into the admin notes and thanking everyone and like, share, subscribe, and everything. In the website. So the website is www.TheFinalBossPodcast.com. One word. TheFinalBossPodcast.com. One word. Shoot us an email at info, INFO, like FAFO, but INFO. It's short for information, if those who didn't know that. Info at TheFinalBossPodcast.com. That is our email address. Shoot us an email. DM us. And you know what? No matter what site you see us on, give us some feedback. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitch. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Kick. We're on Spotify. And YouTube. We're also on YouTube. And strangely enough, after Tuesday night episode, we're still on for the most part. So so we're going to continue that conversation, man. The conversation we were talking about, for those who are just joining us, Tuesday night's episode was on global surveillance systems. So we're going to continue that conversation tonight. Hopefully we're going to knock it out the box and finish it. And then boom, we're going to hit you with the evil laugh. Right? And we're going to get this show rocking and rolling. But before we do that, Sensei, how are you feeling, buddy?
Just running hard, put away wet.
Jesus.
I didn't even get my drink of water.
Oh, man. Go get you a drink of water, man. I don't want you
No, man. No.
You good? You sure? You good?
Yeah.
Because look.
We survived. We survive and we thrive.
So for those who are joining us right now, listen. Every season, I do something, right, where I have to do a double show. So tonight, I'm doing a double show because I didn't do Motivation Monday. So if you stick around tonight, I'm going to do Motivation Monday right after this episode. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think I do that at least once a season. At least once a season, I'll do a double episode where if I miss the episode, I'll go back and knock it out. And it's necessary because it's in our lineup. And I put the information out there, so I need to make sure I close that loop. And what better time than a great time than tonight? And tonight, speaking of which, let's get into the brass tacks, man. Let's get into the brass tacks. These don't look so good. Oh boy. Okay. So I found one. It's not as negative sounding as the other ones. It's kind of like a neutral stance. So tonight's brass tacks is coming from Shoshana Zuboff. Zuboff. Yeah, Zuboff. That's the name. Shoshana Zuboff. And here it is. Tonight's brass tacks. The real psychological truth is this: if you got nothing to hide, you are nothing. Surveillance capitalism unilaterally claims human experience as free raw material for translation into behavioral data. Now, I'm going to just say that's tonight's brass tacks, and I'm going to leave it at that. So, and we are here. I am here. And guess what, people? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to each and every single one of you, no matter where you are. Thank you for joining us. I hope everything that we go over tonight, you allow it to marinate in your spine. And that is the brass tacks for the evening. And man, we got a great show. We have a great show. Yes, sir. I see Sensei over there researching. I am over here doing my thing, and we are getting ready to get into it. Hope everybody is being productive, and that the material that we go over is resonating with you. You know, I hope it's resonating with you to the point where it's opening your eyes. And the information that we provide is for entertainment purposes only. It's for entertainment purposes only. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and throw all the flags. Get the thing started. Let's just get all the flags thrown. All the flags are thrown. That way, because I know it's coming. I know it is coming because of that very introduction you gave, sir. I know the flags are coming. So I just threw them out there anyway to go ahead and set the tone for the evening. And man, so we left off at we were going through all the different social media platforms that utilize your data, right? And we
Wasn't
were
just social media.
discussing
It was all the
also
platforms.
all the platforms. Yes, that's correct. Thank you for correcting me. All of the platforms, and I'm good. Yes. We were going over all of the platforms, and we were also talking about at that moment on Tuesday, we were talking about before closing that if there isn't a cost, then you're the product, right? And you know, Sensei, I believe you have the floor, and we are starting out with the fruit. Do you remember? You recall?
Well, we can. mm, Okay, we got that.
Okay, let's go back. You know what? We can start. We can
Oh,
go back.
We talked about the Tiki Talk. Here we go. Oh,
Right, right,
Apple.
right.
There we go.
Oh,
All right. I didn't say that.
you did say that the fruit. We're talking about fruit, people. The
So
fruit.
typically, here's the part about that that's real interesting. So we can get into this. Is that most people think that if they have that particular product, that they're secure. They believe that they're secure because they think that
Hmm.
minimum data is captured in that platform compared to others. So they have the illusion of privacy. The problem is that they capture just as much as anybody else. They just don't really talk about it. I mean, they
Right.
collect device information, app usage data. So every app you have on your phone or any of your devices in that ecosphere, they all track everything you do, and it tracks it to you because
Hmm.
it's across all platforms. If you're on
Right.
other platforms, your devices are considered separate until you sign in with the same account. But in that
Correct.
environment, it's all is one is all. So anything you do on
Mm-hmm.
any device at any time, from your watch to your phone to your tablet to your laptop, all of that is tracked as individual data.
Mm. Tell
Now,
them one. Tell them again.
they're not the only one, though. They just happen to not talk about it as much, but they still do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they get in trouble for it.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they're going to stop.
No. They paid a load of fines, and then they continue on to
Right.
normal
Because it's
business.
big money.
Yeah.
It's big money. Right. The other one, the Dark Master, the Sith Lord, you know, the one that
Mm-hmm.
95% of the platforms in business use.
Right.
We know who that is?
Yes.
Actually, I
There's
affectionately call
they
them the Borg.
they're small and
Be-
soft.
yeah,
Pause.
well,
Yeah.
that's right. And the thing is, they are the Borg. And
Right.
if you know what the Borg is, it's be assimilated or die.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if you
Right.
look historically, even the other guys wouldn't be around if it wasn't for the Borg. Because when they
True.
were getting ready to go bankrupt, the Borg stepped in and bailed them out.
Yeah.
And when they did, they allowed the competition to thrive. And they did that for a purpose because they couldn't have a monopoly. They had to have competition. So they now own both sides of that coin. And they've
Mm-hmm.
all collected data.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they all happily share your data. I'll give you another example of a company who decided it was fun to share data. There's a safe manufacturer that you have a code that you put in your gun safe for you to keep your guns safe and secure. And they have a backup code in case you accidentally lock yourself out. Factory default backup code. They, without even having a court order, just blatantly gave up the backdoor codes to the three-letter organizations because they just did. They didn't even care. So that means they can walk into your house and go right to your safe and use the backup code and get right into your gun safe. There's your privacy.
Verified information, people. Verified information.
That
Oh
is
man, that's
verified because you can go out to that particular gun site's website, that gun manufacturer's website, and you can ask to have your serial number removed from their list. But
wow.
if you don't do that by default, it's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they can walk in and just open your safe up, and there you are.
Hmm.
There's your expectation of privacy. And you say, well, I have nothing to hide. Well, you know what? There's a lot of people that in 1942 and 1943 didn't think they had a lot to hide either.
Very
And
true.
so then they realized that there was a problem.
There lies the
So
problem.
herein lies the problem. Don't be stupid. You have rights for a reason. If you don't exercise your rights, you don't have them. So you might as well just get your act together and understand the concept of how to exercise your rights.
Mm-hmm.
And unlawful search and seizure is one of those rights. Otherwise, we wouldn't be the country we are, and we wouldn't be free if we didn't have those protections. So if
Right.
you say, well, I got nothing to hide, that means you just don't even want to have rights. You might as well just get up, pack your bags, and go somewhere else because you
You
sure as heck
sign
don't want to
yourself
live
in.
here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sign yourself in and eat some steak. That's what we're doing.
that's it. Go eat some steak. That's right.
Yeah.
Go eat some
Yeah.
steak. So
Yep.
look, Amnesty International published a report in August of 2025. That's this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, documenting how Meta and Google's market dominance is directly linked to data harvesting capabilities. They estimated by 2024, the Five Eyes Alliance had collected data on 1.2 billion people.
Mm. Wow. 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 Man, that's I don't. You know what? That's just
It's
yeah. So
it's frightening.
it's frightening. You know, I'm glad you mentioned that because let's talk about uh the infrastructure, right? The physical surveillance infrastructure. And we're talking about cameras everywhere you go.
Everywhere. Doesn't matter where. According to
Mhm.
2021, that's 4 years ago. There are more than 770 million surveillance cameras installed worldwide. And we talked about this already. China accounts for 54% of that, over 415 million cameras. Look,
Hmm.
cameras are exploding everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
The global video surveillance market was valued at 64.1 billion in 2023. It's expected to grow to 209.1 billion by 2033. And that's just 10 years.
23 is 10 years. So not
Yeah.
even, it's less than 10 years.
Yeah,
It's
that's
eight
less than
years
10
from now.
years. Yep. At a compound annual growth rate of 12.55%. Some estimates put it even higher, exceeding 260 billion by 2029. And thanks for that correction.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Modern surveillance cameras are nothing like the grainy low resolution old cameras. Okay. Today's cameras have AI processing. They have 4K resolution, which means that it can count the hairs on your face. All right. They have night vision, thermal
Mm,
imaging, and real-time behavior analysis capabilities. So if you get the camera and you turn it on, even for the civilians, you can have it so that it monitors your stuff and does AI recognition. Um, Currently in the commercial marketplace, there's a system that you can purchase where you can identify people walking into the building who may have a weapon on them, and you can identify it just by the way they carry themselves and the
hmm.
shape of the clothes that they wear. And the AI has that sharp of a focus to be able to determine that. It's just
Wow.
that impressive. And the AI behind it will identify and flag that person for you. So you already know there's a possibility that person has a weapon on them.
Speaking of AI powered video analytics, that is arguably the most significant advancement, what you just mentioned. These systems can detect all sorts of anomalies, track behaviors, and even predict threats before they occur. Combined with facial recognition, they can identify specific individuals and crowds in real time. So, you protesters out there, you need to be paying attention.
Well, there's different kinds of protests. So there's two kinds of protests. There's a
Right.
protest and then there's a fake protest. So,
Mm,
there's the reality
that
of the
part.
world we live in, and then it's
Yeah.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
this yep. There's the
Yeah.
free
You got
ones and the
agile.
paid ones. How's that? We'll just put it
Yeah.
that way. The
How's
free
that?
ones and the
How's
paid
that?
ones.
Right. Right. Right.
Yep. So look, the Indian government is actively advocating for CCTV, okay, closed circuit television surveillance systems throughout projects like Safe City Project, deploying high-tech surveillance in cities nationwide. This is in India. This is
Mm,
being replicated globally. They're doing it there, and what they do is cities are the easiest place to deploy the technology. You put cameras everywhere, everywhere.
everywhere.
Mhm.
Major companies dominating this market, man, include Hangzhou, Hike Vision, Digital Tech, Dahua Tech, Robert Bosch, Axis Communications, and Motorola Solutions. Many of these companies have ties to governments and intelligence agencies.
Dahua is like one of the most popular manufacturers for consumer products out there. I mean, you
Mm,
buy cameras of every brand, every flavor, and many, many times it's a Dahua camera. So they are prevalent in the marketplace, just
mm,
saturated in the marketplace.
wow.
And the thing is, we always have talked about IoT. Did we talk
Hmm.
about the risks of IoT, Internet of Things, right? So
Yep.
it's one thing if you have a camera system and you track it and it's yours. It's a whole nother thing if your camera system could potentially be compromised because it's an Internet of Things and you didn't change the password, update the firmware, or there's a back door in it, and suddenly your cameras are being used by somebody else.
Yeah.
Not uncommon. The
Right.
cloud-based surveillance platforms are replacing on-premise systems, okay? Think about that.
Hmm.
Who's going to get hacked? Is it the little guy that's going to get hacked at home, or is it the big cloud server that has all the data of everybody?
Definitely going after the cloud server.
Right. So if you got somebody like Ring or
Hmm.
Blink, and they store all of your video in their servers, what happens if they get hacked?
Right.
Or if somebody comes in, a three-letter organization, says, "Give me your feeds. I need all your feeds." You have no say.
Yeah.
And this can be your cameras that are protecting your house
Mm-hmm.
that you
Absolutely.
use to take care of you and protect you.
Now they're in an
That's
investigation.
a right, and that's the sad part about it because you didn't give permission,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be accessed and analyzed from anywhere.
Anywhere. The move to cloud storage also means this video data becomes part of a larger surveillance system, ecosystem that has the potential to access and from intelligence agencies through data sharing agreements and legal mandates.
Right. So that's what I was talking about. That you might not have said yes, I agree, but maybe in the fine print somewhere it says they're allowed to say yes if they want to agree.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they can say yes on your behalf. That's what I'm getting at, is that you don't
Yeah,
always know what's happening behind the scenes. Do you read all the legal agreements of everything you do?
absolutely not.
And even if you did read them, do you know what they mean?
No. Who
And if
can
you want the
interpret?
service,
Right.
right, who can interpret that legalese? And if you want the
Mm-hmm.
service, you tend to just agree and move on
True. Very true.
because we have gotten dumbed down as a society. We don't know how to ask the proper questions anymore.
Yeah.
But
You
that's just
know,
a piece of the puzzle. That's just a little
mm,
piece.
it's just a small piece, and we're just touching the surface. And again, this is verified information. And look, we need to talk about smart cities. You mentioned smart cities a few minutes ago in your statement when you were just talking about India. Um, there's a lot of conversation about smart cities, and they're calling it the next evolution of the surveillance infrastructure. And this is where what you were just talking about, IoT, AI, and traditional surveillance converge into something unprecedented.
Right? This global smart city market, because
Mm,
it is a market, is estimated to reach 2.5 trillion by 2025. That's now.
yeah.
They're predicted to be 1.6 billion IoT devices. Remember, we talked about that all your stuff can spy on you.
Hmm.
Your
Including your
Rubik,
refrigerator.
your refrigerator, your Roomba that vacuums your house for you,
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
TVs, your Alexas, all of your devices. Heck, I've got a massage chair that constantly is listening and wanting me to give it commands because it's always listening.
Wow.
24/7, the damn thing. Every once in a while, it'll hear something that thinks you're trying to give it a command, says, "Can give me a command." That's a chair,
It's a
okay?
chair.
Right. So
Oh boy.
they're projecting to have 1.6 billion IoT devices.
Mm,
So if you want to know how many devices you have in your home, go into your wireless access, your Wi-Fi, and look up devices and start counting all the things that are connected to your network. And
right.
suddenly you realize, oh man, I got a lot of stuff that connects to my network. Right? 1.6
Hmm.
billion devices deployed in smart cities by 2025. That's now.
That's now.
Sensors,
Right now.
cameras, monitoring devices, things listening, watching. You have
Hmm.
zero privacy if you have any technology around you. Zero.
Mm.
And I'm not being paranoid, I'm being a realist.
Yeah. We're just being real people. We're just giving you information that's already out there that you may not be aware of.
It's
And
already
having a
there.
difficult, it's already there. And we're having a difficult
Because,
conversation about it because this is what
because
we
you
do.
keep watching football. Because you just keep watching football.
Hmm. Keep watching it. Eat some steak.
Well, when we talk about the 1,000,000 to 1, it doesn't take long to get distracted, does it?
Yeah, absolutely. It sure doesn't, man. So many things out there to get distracted from. Yep. 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 You know, smart cities deploy IoT enabled cameras and sensors in public areas to provide real time monitoring. These systems are marketed for crime prevention. So they say traffic management. So they say, and emergency response. But they're also comprehensive surveillance networks.
Right now, smart cities are using AI and machine learning to analyze all this video footage automatically,
Hmm. Hmm.
searching for the unusual events and alerting authorities without human interaction. The AI can track individuals, predict behaviors across an entire city network,
Wow.
everywhere. everywhere. Think about that.
Man, let's break that down. Let's break down what's being monitored in a typical smart city, right? We're talking about traffic lights. We're talking about intersections with sensors that track vehicles and pedestrian flow. We're talking about smart street lights that adjust brightness based on activity. And we're also talking about monitoring foot traffic patterns. All those things are uh, sensors that they use every single day.
Right, and
Every single
also
day.
smart waste management that senses in trash bins to monitor how full the trash is getting. But they can also
Oh,
track when people throw things away and
mm,
can identify patterns of behavior. Smart water, they use it down to individual households. And have you talked about the smart thermometers
right.
that the electric company will give you for free to put a smart
Hmm.
thermometer in your house? Now, if the power grid gets a little strained, because they gave it to you, they're in control of it. They can take in control of your heat and cooling in your house and say, well, you can't have your house at 70 today. You're going to have it at 85 today.
Right.
Oh, and in the wintertime, you can't have your house at 80. You're going to have your house at 65. And the system will override your input into your control of the temperature of your house.
True.
That's the price you pay for smart technology. Someone else can
And
control your devices.
right. And again, if it's free, then you're the product. You
You're the
know,
product.
you're the product, man. Um, there are transportation systems out there that are heavily monitored. I believe it's Columbus, Ohio, who has equipped over 600 vehicles with technology that communicate with traffic signals. While marketed for emergency vehicle priority, this means the city tracks in real time the location of every equipped vehicle.
And in New York City, they have Link NYC kiosks. They started as a Wi-Fi hotspot, but it grew. It evolved into
Mm,
environmental monitoring stations and data collection points. During the pandemic, these networks demonstrated a capability for population level tracking and communication. You're in public, it's tracking, you're being tracked, you're being monitored. Everything you
wow.
do.
You know, we were talking about how China owns 54% of the market. China's smart cities are the most advanced and invasive. Their systems combine factual facial
Yep.
recognition,
Hmm.
real time license plate readers, smartphone tracking, social media monitoring, and purchase history into integrated social credit systems.
And once these systems are in place, once the backbone is built, it's such a slippery slope. It just becomes. There's not going to be a big
Mm.
announcement as this happens. It's just going to happen. It's just going to
And
happen. Environmental
as it's happening
sensors
right
monitor
now.
the
Yeah.
air quality, noise
Yeah.
levels, and then crowd density. And while beneficial for urban planning, that's not what it's going to be used for.
Right.
The data is going to create detailed maps of where people congregate, when, and for how long. We're talking about crowd control without even you knowing that there's crowd control.
Mm. You know, edge computing is making this even more powerful. Instead of sending all data to central servers, AI processing happens right at the sensor level, enabling instant analysis and response. This means, this right here means that surveillance decisions can be made in milliseconds.
And this is very concerning because the parts that's really concerning about this is the integration. These systems don't operate in silos. Traffic data
Right.
connects to a camera feed, which connects to facial recognition, which connects to social media profiles, which connects to financial transactions. I mean, it's like one thing, it's like a big spider web. It's all
Mm-hmm.
now solid, one living entity. It is the matrix. You are becoming part of the matrix, whether you know it or not.
And Portland's always is in the news again, and they have something that is called Portland's Smart City PDX, and it's an initiative that demonstrates both the promise and pearl. They deployed over 20,000 smart streetlights that adjust brightness based on conditions, cutting energy use by 35%. But each light is also a potential surveillance system.
Yeah, everything monitors everything. Is what's going to happen. And as the grid gets more filled in, there's not going to be any place you're going to be able to go and actually have privacy. It's just
Hmm.
not going to happen. Look, cities like Barcelona, Singapore, Amsterdam, they're leading city development. They're setting the global standard for how much data can be collected from urban populations. They're setting the standard. How much data can you actually get from people?
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Just wow. Man. Man. AI has transformed surveillance from passive recording to active prediction and intervention. This is the
minority.
force multiplier.
It's the minority report.
Yeah, this is the Minority Report. This is the force multiplier that makes modern surveillance so powerful. And imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years.
Oh my God, as fast as technology is growing,
Yeah,
no, I
no.
can't even imagine in 10 years. It's kind of hard to remember what's going to happen in 2 years, let alone 10. Look,
Right.
according to the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, now these are things you can go look up. You don't believe me? Go
Hmm.
look them up. 176 countries around the world now use AI surveillance technology. The AI Global Surveillance Index they publish tracks this deployment worldwide, everywhere, 176 countries. So you ask yourself, how many countries are in the world? And how many developed countries are in the world? How's that one, right?
Right.
So 176.
Man, look, there's only 200 and something countries in the world. So 176 countries that are participating in this, man. Look, Big Brother's watching. There's no denying it, right? AI surveillance systems can do things humans never could. They can monitor thousands of camera feeds simultaneously, identify patterns across millions of data points, and they can predict behaviors before they can occur. If that's not Minority Report, I don't know what you call it.
Okay, so the total count as of 2025, according to the UN, there are 195 total countries in the world today.
Mhm.
195 recognized sovereign countries. 176 use AI surveillance.
Right.
How many's left?
Yep.
So it is truly
Yeah.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Look, facial recognition is the most visible AI surveillance application, but it's just the beginning. That's only one piece. You think that that's the one that matters. There's the thing called gait analysis. How you walk is individual to you, and that can be traced as you walk, and the pattern recognized and tied in to you to recognize you. Your voice,
Hmm.
even in a noisy environment, it just takes a little bit of fancy filtering, and your voice can be pinpointed to you. Tie it in with a little bit of facial recognition, a little bit of gait recognition, a little bit of how your body shape is. Doesn't take much. Tie it all
Listen,
together.
listen. If you got Alexa, you can test this. Go turn on some music and blast it, and talk to Alexa. It will recognize your voice and understand your command and give you an answer while the loud music is playing. This is verifiable. Go if you haven't tested it, go test it out. It will distinct your voice in a crowd.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, behavior analysis AI watches for suspicious patterns. This could be someone who's loitering. Uh, they can see an unattended bag, or even just unusual movement patterns. The AI flags these behaviors for human review or automatic intervention.
And this is called predictive policing, is what this is.
Hmm.
Predictive policing uses AI to analyze crime data and predict where crimes are likely to occur. The police departments then use this data to determine the patrol routes, know where to send the cops on a regular basis, and resource allocation. But the critics are going to tell you, hey, this reinforces existing biases and creates feedback loops of over policing. And the problem is, who is telling you what is considered a bad behavior? And then today, the
Mm,
goalpost is here, and tomorrow it moves, and tomorrow it moves, and tomorrow it moves. And
right.
then if you cross the street one half a step too soon before the light fully changes, then that's now going to be considered a flag, right? Because that goalpost is going to keep moving.
Yep.
If you don't walk to the right of the sidewalk and you walk a little too close to the middle, that's predictive behavior. You're a troublemaker. You see?
Mm,
That's going to create a very, very, very not friendly environment to live in.
yep.
A
It's data collection.
lack of freedom is what you're going to have. You're not going to have any freedom anymore.
Hmm. You know, natural language processing AI monitors social media posts, emails, and message for keyboards, sentiment, and potential threats. This is used by intelligence agencies and by private companies for targeted advertising.
Right now in England, there was a lady who got arrested. She posted something on Facebook, went against whatever it went against, and they came to her house and physically arrested her. This is
I think I
happening.
read about that. I think I read
Mhm.
about that article. Yeah.
Look, the AI-powered sentiment analyst can determine your mood, your political leanings, and predict your future actions. And I've talked about this, that it's already there, the technology is there to accurately predict what you're going to be doing next year at this exact time. And it will be
ab-
so accurate, it will scare you. It's not science
Absolutely.
fiction. This is
It's
deployed
not. It's
and
mhm,
operational because there's that much data.
right. Right. And people, it's not sci-fi. It's sci now. I think I'm gonna coin that.
It
It's sci now. And you mentioned the
is right
scary
now.
part about it. The scary part is this: AI doesn't need to be perfect to be dangerous. We're still friends with it. We're still
A
we're still friends with
DNKL, DNKL.
it. Right. But studies have shown facial recognition systems have higher error rates for people of color, women, and elderly individuals, yet they're still being deployed. So, yes, it may have flaws, but it's not going to stop agencies and uh corporations from using it.
And here's the thing too. I mean, who are you really policing? Because let's be honest, there's a certain population that's all you see. So you tell me the AI is going to recognize that? Come on, you know. So who you're really going to be policing? That's the problem. It's
Hmm.
like what population are you actually targeting with this stuff? So false positives lead to wrongful arrests, harassment, targeting of innocent people. But because the AI provides a technological veneer, so that they say, oh well, it's the technology, it's the computer, it knows better. People trust it more than human judgment. They're going to trust the
They
AI
do.
more than human judgment. And so
True.
wrongful arrests it's not going to be a problem. It's going to be a reality.
That's probably a statistic we should look up.
Hmm.
And
Well,
China's
yeah.
AI surveillance that includes systems that can detect facial features and automatically flag them for additional scrutiny. This is algorithmic discrimination at a national scale.
Right, because now you're taking someone who is an ethnic group, and because they belong to that ethnic group, based upon their facial features, they will get harassed,
Mm.
identified, harassed, and tracked. Absolutely. At a national scale. Scary. So scary.
Mm-hmm.
Look, in 2023, now again, we're in 2025, we're almost 2026. Data breaches exposed over 1.2 billion records globally. Each breach represents the surveillance opportunities for criminals, hostile nations, and they will show you how this infrastructure can be weaponized. So because the data is there, it doesn't mean it's protected enough that the bad guys aren't going to get it.
Right.
And you have to ask yourself, who are the bad guys? If I value privacy, everybody's a bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you say I have nothing to hide, then go to China.
Yeah. Go eat some steak.
Go eat some steak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've
Mhm.
already decided the pill you're taking. You know.
Oh, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. And and here's something that we all need to understand. And listen, people, I want y'all to understand this part right here. And they show it to us. They showed us this thing that I'm about to speak on every single day. We need to understand that government and corporate surveillance are not separate. They're showing this to you right in your face. They're deeply intertwined.
And we've already talked about 70% of intelligence community spending goes to private contractors. We've already talked about that. And they're
Mhm.
building the surveillance infrastructure. 70%. It's a combination between government and privatized. That's what it is. And I'm not even going to name the companies. There's too many of them.
It's too many. Just say
Too
all
many
of
to
them.
name. Yeah, all of them.
As well. All of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all there.
Yep.
In the big old who's who, they're all there.
Mhm. All there. The big N three-letter agency awarded $10 billion in contracts to the warehouse company for services in 2021 for cloud computing. And think about that. This puts one of the world's largest data harvesting companies in direct partnership with the largest surveillance agency in the world.
And then
Who?
there's the one
Who?
that I consider to be probably the most dangerous of them.
Mm.
And this is a private company. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Palantir.
Mm-mm. Oh, you said it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh boy.
It's all right. Look, it's public. He's out there. The man speaks
Yeah.
in public. He does talks all the time, so it's not like he's hiding. So it's not like there's anything that we don't all know. Okay, very
Boom,
very much
boom,
that name is known in the world. Okay,
boom.
but he's
There it
become
is.
integral in government surveillance. Their software powers ICE immigration enforcement, FBI investigations, military operations, and this technology connects disparate data sources. Hear me now. It connects disparate data, in other words, separate. Used to be you had different silos of data. You had your health here, your banking here, you had your Social Security over there, you had your IRS over there. They were all separate entities. Nobody talked to each other. Now,
Right.
now, all of the data sources have been linked. They are all now linked. Everything about you is now linked.
Mm.
But that's part of the game plan because control wants more control.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, that part. NQTel, the Big C's venture capital arm, they invest in Silicon Valley startups, particularly those working on AI, data analytics, and surveillance technologies. This gives the Big C early access to cutting edge surveillance capabilities.
And you got to ask yourself, where is the big C supposed to operate? Inside
Mm,
or outside? They're supposed to operate outside. But when tech companies receive letters or FISA court orders, they're legally required to cooperate with the surveillance requests. And they're often prohibited from disclosing this cooperation publicly. So they'll narc, but they're not allowed to talk about it.
right.
They'll spill the beans, give
Mhm.
up everything, but won't say a word. And they'll
Mm,
deny it publicly that they ever do it because they're told to do that.
absolutely. Deny, deny, deny. The revolving
Deny until
door.
you die.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. Revolving door between the revolving door between intelligence agencies and tech companies is well documented. Just as the sensei said, former Big N directors sat on the boards of defense contractors. Former Big C analysts work at uh these other these other tech companies.
Of course. No, and this is just the beginning, okay? They all
Mm,
interlink. They
right.
interlink at the highest level.
Mm.
So if I'm a board, bless me, if I'm a
Bless you,
board
bless you.
member, thank you. If I'm a board member and I have information, my board is going to know that information. It's a seamless ecosystem where government
Yeah.
surveillance capabilities and corporate data collection, they
Mm,
reinforce each other. Look, it's called the left hand and the right hand. Okay, they're the two wings of the same bird.
yes.
We
Yes, they
just
are.
don't think of it that way
Hmm.
because we say it's big government. No, it's not just big government. It's big corporations who are the other wing of the big government.
Right.
Look, the government gets access to the private data,
Hmm.
and the companies get lucrative contracts and legal protection. Look, they
Right.
can spill your data everywhere, and guess what's going to happen? You find out about it, you can do nothing about it
And
because
if
they
you're
have legal
expecting,
protection.
yep. And if you're suspecting that you're going to get a big payout from one of these lawsuits uh, for them for
Spilling the data on you?
breaches, yeah, security breaches, yeah, keep looking out for that. And we need to address the elephant in the room. What does all this surveillance mean for privacy and civil liberties?
Well, the right to privacy is enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which states that no one should be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy. Yet mass surveillance systemically violates this principle.
Mm.
Systemically.
And,
You just
and yeah, mind blowing. In 2024, 58% of people across Five Eyes nations view their intelligence analysis as a privacy threat. This represents a massive shift that we spoke of on the first episode and public perception from just a decade ago.
right. The problem is this: legal frameworks have not kept up with technology. Most privacy laws are written before smartphones, social media, AI-powered surveillance even existed. Companies
Mhm.
and governments are going to exploit these legal gaps because the legislation's nowhere. It's going to be decades behind the technology. We talk about AI and how it's taken away many jobs. Tell you what, there's one job that you may want to, if you're looking to get into stuff. It's not just cybersecurity, but forensics.
Yeah,
Because in
yeah.
today's world, digital forensics is a thing.
Oh yeah, digital forensics and financial forensics, digital forensics. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yep. That's a big thing right there. The European Union, especially with the digital currency that's around the corner, I should say. Yeah, absolutely. The European Union's GDPR is one of the strongest privacy laws globally, but even it has limitations. It applies to EU citizens, but surveillance is global, and enforcement is challenging when data crosses borders constantly.
Yeah, we're not countries anymore. It's a global thing. The data's
Yeah.
everywhere. US has a
Mm,
patchwork of state privacy laws, and they provide some protection, but there's no comprehensive federal privacy law because
mm,
big tech is busy paying for lobbyists. So there's never going
right.
to be any privacy protection because you can't when the lobbyists are saying no, 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 no. Look, Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act was one of the strongest, and that's what led to the Clearview AI settlement. But it's still a drop in the bucket. We
Right.
heard of HIPAA, how HIPAA was supposed to be so wonderful for your protection of your health information. That is a
Mm,
joke.
it is a joke. It is
These,
a
how
joke.
many times have you hear of insurance companies being compromised? How many times you hear of entire hospital networks being compromised?
Yep.
So it's a joke. You can say, oh,
Ab-
we're protecting your data, but yeah, well, you're protecting it where? On the front
Where?
door, but the back
Yeah,
door just got broken in.
sure did. All the hinges are off. Hmm.
Hmm.
But here's a critical issue. You know, surveillance systems, once built, rarely get dismantled. Rarely get dismantled. They only expand. And after 9/11, the Patriot Act was supposed to be temporary. But 24 years later, the surveillance infrastructure has only grown more extensive.
24 years. It was supposed to be temporary. When you
Mm.
give up your rights, you never get them back. And if it's, oh,
Wow.
it's scary, I have to give up my rights to be safe, then you don't deserve to be safe. If you're going to give up your freedoms, then you shouldn't have them anyway.
Wow.
And look, any bureaucracy, I'm not talking just government, but any type of bureaucracy, they're designed for one thing and one thing only, to grow. Bureaucracies are not designed to shrink. They are only designed to get bigger. And it's just natural numbers of budget. So if you have a government agency that says, I have a budget of $1 million, if I don't spend my entire $1 million this year, I don't get it for next year. So they
Right.
spend and then ask for more.
Hmm.
Even if they only needed 500,000, they still spend the entire million
Absolutely.
because that's what they're designed to do. They're
Hmm.
not rewarded for efficiency, they're penalized, so therefore they're not efficient. That's
Yeah.
natural. That's the nature of bureaucracy. It's why our government's so huge.
Mm.
Like, nothing to hide argument, that's a joke.
Right.
When you consider how surveillance is abused, even you, if you trust your government completely, surveillance infrastructure persists across administrations. And you might trust this one, but you don't trust the next one. And the next one's going to do bad things to you that this one didn't do. I always said it's the two sides of one coin. One of them is tax and spend, the other one is spend and tax, but it's the same coin. You flip it all the time and figure out which side you're going to get, but you're going to get one of the two sides. You're never going to stand that coin up on the end.
And we've seen surveillance being used in many ways. In the past, we've seen surveillance be used to target journalists, activists, political opponents, and minority communities. This is verified information. And without strong oversight and accountability, the potential for abuse is enormous. Enormous.
Look this one up if you don't believe me. Privacy International, the Five Eyes surveillance, and that's only five. They collected data on 1.2 billion people in 2024. That's 1 in 6 people on Earth. They're directly impacted by this single alliance. One alliance is affecting 1 in 6 people in the world. Tell me how crazy that is.
Super crazy. Super, super crazy. And it's chilling. And the chilling effect is real. When people know they're being watched, they self censor, they avoid certain searches, they don't visit certain websites, they don't express certain opinions. They fundamentally change the nature of a free society.
Mm,
And then you have to begin to ask, are you really free?
mm, because you're no longer a free society if you have to
Yeah.
watch over your shoulder for everything you do. I know that legal challenges are mounting. Between 21 and
Hmm.
24, 17 U.S. citizens are charged with FIVEs-related privacy violations. None reached trial by April 2024. In other words, I don't care if they violate you. Good luck getting to court.
Hmm.
Good luck standing up for yourself.
Right. You know,
Crazy.
crazy. Let's zoom out, right? Let's fix our lenses and zoom out a bit and look at it from a broader scope. And let's look at it from the point where, see if we can identify where surveillance is heading. Where is the technology
Okay.
heading?
By
Yeah.
2030, it's
Hmm.
expected to reach 260 billion annually. The
Hmm.
radar market alone will go from 10.9 billion to 32.54 billion by 2035.
Wow. Emerging technologies will make surveillance even more pervasive. Quantum computing threatens to break current encryption standards, and we've talked about that, potentially making all past encrypted communications readable. We talked about
It's like
that as
having the
well.
keys to everything. You think
Yep.
everything's locked and safe, nothing is secure. There is no
You
security anymore.
quantum
And
apocalypse.
by the time we see the quantum
Hmm.
technology in application, it's already going to have been up and running and functioning in the military industrial complex before we even get a chance to see it. So the three-letter organizations are going to have a fully functional operational model 5 to 10 years before we get to see it.
Mm,
Neural interfaces. We talked about the neural links, right?
right.
Brain computer interfaces are in development. Now,
Mm.
think about this. When that becomes mainstream, your surveillance is going to extend into your thoughts and intentions, not just your actions. Think about that when your brain can be monitored.
I think I'm
Hmm.
gonna give Elon a call. I think I'm gonna go to Mars. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Mars. Listen, speaking of space, satellite surveillance is advancing rapidly, and we're going to talk about that on another conversation on the Final Boss. Private companies like Planet Labs operate networks of of satellites, providing daily imagery of the entire Earth at a resolution sufficient to identify individual vehicles and people from space.
Yeah, space. It's like
Space.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Look, we see that right now, okay, developing nations, the poorer folks, starting to push back.
Hmm.
The countries in Asia and Africa are demanding that tech giants store citizen data locally rather than overseas servers. So they're trying because they recognize their data is a valuable resource. They're trying, but it's that cat is already out of the bag.
Yeah. They go, they have so many loopholes. They're gonna that's yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You know, China is exporting its surveillance technology globally through Belt and Road Initiative projects. Countries in Africa, Asia, and South America are adapting Chinese smart city systems, facial recognition, and social monitoring technologies.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
there's just so much happening so fast, and it's the private companies tied directly in with the government organizations. It's just unbelievable.
Hmm.
Pegasus spyware can silently
Unbelievable.
compromise smartphones without even having user interaction.
Yeah. You
It's
know,
crazy.
deep fake technology creates new surveillance challenges. AI generated fake videos can be used to frame individuals or create false evidence, potentially weaponizing surveillance infrastructure. Mm.
If you want to watch something that's going to freak you out, okay. All right. There's an episode of Black Mirror. It's called Be Right Back. And it is frightening. Like I watched this and I was
Which episode was that?
taken. It's called Be Right Back, season 2, episode 1.
Okay. I think, I've seen all the Black Mirrors. I just wanted to see which season that was in.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of those other ones on that same show that are frightening.
Yeah. They expose a lot of different possible tech.
So,
Yeah.
Look, we know with AI, what do we got going on? What's the newest thing happening that we hear about? You don't trust what you see anymore. Why not? I don't trust what you see because they got deep fakes going on right now. You don't even know if I'm real.
Right.
I don't know if you're real.
Right.
Because deep fakes are getting so convincing and so
Yeah,
good, and the
true.
quality is so amazing that you don't know if it's real or if it's Memorex.
Yep. That's true.
Look, smart homes, wearables, connected vehicles, medical devices all create data streams that can be incorporated easily into
Yeah.
surveillance systems.
True. Very true. And you incorporate that with 5G and eventually 6G networks, which will enable real-time processing of massive surveillance data systems and data streams. This means decisions based on surveillance can happen instantaneously.
That's crazy. And this metaverse and virtual reality platforms, new surveillance. These environments track eye movements, body language, emotion responses, social interactions in ways that physical surveillance cannot. They know everything about you.
Yeah.
They know things about you you don't know about yourself.
This is this is so true. And ladies and gentlemen, we've covered a lot tonight. Sensei, bring us on home.
Okay, key takeaway is this. Global surveillance state is real. It's massive. It's operating right now. It's not a future threat. It's present reality, and it's not going away. It's going to exponentially get worse. Look at how many times you see these people out there nowadays are sticking all these cameras in their cars. They record everything they do the entire time. If you want to get a break on your insurance, you put on DriveWise, and it tracks your entire driving pattern. Come on, that's surveillance. You're paying a private company to give you a slight discount to track everything you do. If you speed, they know it.
Yeah.
That's social engineering right there. Right there, that's that social credit system right there. Because if you speed, they increase your insurance rates on your car. That's an experiment that's going to get you used to doing this stuff.
Right.
You're going to give it away because they're going to give you a break, a discount, or give you some shiny little deal. Or what was the deal? They give you a cheeseburger and fries to get the COVID shot, right?
Oh boy.
You know it's bad when they give you cheeseburger and fries to get a shot.
Yeah, that was crazy. And look, we have government. They did that right in front of us, man.
They did right in front of our face.
God damn.
And we're happy about it. Proud.
Boy. And
proud
we
about
laugh. Like, oh man, they're giving away free food, free meals for a shot. Yeah, it's bad. Listen, we have government intelligence agencies with tens of billions in funding, sharing surveillance data across dozens of nations. We have tech companies collecting detailed profiles on billions of users. We have AI systems analyzing behavior in real time, and we have surveillance infrastructure in our own cities, our own homes, and guess what? In your pocket and on your wrist.
Look, there's so many systems we discussed, too many to name. Okay, just go look it up. All right, data flows in between them. They're all tied together. Whether you believe it or not, they're all tied together.
All tied.
Benjamin Franklin said it real easy. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
Mm,
That was Benjamin Franklin. That's an old
right.
dude.
Very old.
But
They
that
are
was smart.
legitimate.
That was
Yeah,
legit.
legit. And speaking of legit, there are legitimate security concerns that drive some surveillance, terrorism, organized crime, and cyber threats, which are real. The question is, where do we draw the line between security and liberty? Just like Benjamin Franklin said, and just like what the sensei mentioned. The technology exists to surveil everyone, everywhere,
And if it's
all the
not just
time.
you, they can
Yeah,
surveil your kids to learn about you.
mhm, absolutely. And the question isn't about technical capability, it's
No,
policy, it's oversight, and whether democratic societies can maintain civil liberties in the surveillance age.
that's the $1 million question right there.
Right.
And do they even want to? I don't even think they want to.
No, I don't think they do either. Mm,
No, the data's too valuable. Look,
that
you
is
want to know what's
definitely
going
true.
on in the world? Follow the money.
Follow the money. Mhm.
And big data is big money. You can try doing VPNs, but they follow the same agreements as everybody else.
Correct.
And with the quantum apocalypse coming, your VPN is going to be useless anyway.
Absolutely useless.
So there you are.
There you are. There you have it. The
E-
surveillance state
e-
wasn't, and it wasn't built overnight, people.
oh
We
no,
in the first episode, we started mentioning how the surveillance system was built and started being built in 1946 during World War II. We
and it
mentioned that.
has not slowed down.
It has not slowed down. It is only expanded. And it won't be reformed overnight or at all.
I
But
don't think it'll be
awareness
reformed
is
at
the
all.
first. Yeah, no, not at all. I don't see that. Not in the digital age we're in. It's not happening. But awareness is the first step. And that's what we hear. That's why you're part of the Final Boss Nation, to make you aware. In a way, being aware is the first step. And like G.I. Joe always said, knowing is half the battle. Now you know the systems that are watching you. It on cue.
I know that you know that I know that you know. Yeah.
Right. Mm,
That's the first step.
that's the first step.
Put your sunglasses on.
Put your sunglasses on, people. See what's happening.
Look at the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, it's going to give you a headache for a little bit. I I don't know what to tell you. It's you got to try to make informed decisions. You balance what your life is, what your privacy is, what's the value in that. You have to balance that, and either you're going to be part of it, living in these smart cities where you're owned by the technology, or you're not. And if you're not,
Right.
you're going to be out in the cold. That's the way they're going to make it. It's going to feel like that.
Yeah. And look, to my final bosses, to my smarts, to my motivators, to my warriors, and everyone else out there, thank you all for joining us. This has been episode 129, and it happened so fast. It happens so fast when we're having fun. And we gave you guys a lot of information. You take some notes. But I'm gonna drop some resources at the end. And Sensei, you have anything before we close out?
Man, you know what? Stay alert, stay alive.
Stay alert and stay alive. And hey, look, here's some resources you guys can go do some research on. Go check out Wiki, Clearview AI. Go check out Clearview AI targets. Go check out DHS and the 2024 update of DHS's use of facial recognition and face capture technologies. Go check out Clearview's AI facial recognition technology designed for surveillance. That article came out on April 7th of 2025. This is relevant information. Go check out big tech companies that are selling your data to third parties. That article came out in December of 2024. So this is, and the list goes on and on, man.
There's
Go do
so
some
many
research on.
gems to
There's so
drop. It's
many.
just do the
It's,
research. You just
just
dip
do
your
the
fingers
research,
in and
people.
just
Yep.
start digging.
Go do your own. Go dig your own rabbit hole and see what's out there. It's out there, and it's readily available to you. And the information is
Just
verifiable. And we
don't
wouldn't
get
present it to
lost.
if it wasn't. Yes, don't get lost. And if
Don't
you
get
have any
lost in the
questions,
rabbit hole.
don't get lost in the rabbit hole. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to DM us or email us. I gave you guys the email at the beginning of the podcast. If you want to know what the email is, go back to the beginning or go to the website at www.TheFinalBossPodcast.com. That is our show for tonight, and it's been a lot of fun. Oh, man. A lot of information, man. A lot of information that was just put out. Oh, boy. Man. Episode 129. Anything you want to close out with?
Be safe.
Be safe.
Stay informed.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe if we don't get kicked off, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, people, for Tech Tuesday. We will be back.
I'll be traveling next week.
Okay. Yeah. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
That's our show for tonight. Listen, let's give it up for the Sensei. Let's give it up for him. And all the information that we went over tonight, I hope you let it marinate in your spine. And remember this, there's a heavy pain that comes with discipline, but the pain of regret is even heavier. We are here. I am here. And I want you guys, no matter where you are, what time, and where you are tuning in at, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And make sure that you continue to be balanced, be equal, and be smart. All right? And that's the Final Boss Podcast. And this is the Final Boss Nation. And we are out of here. Be sure to tune in on Sunday for sitting down with the Final Boss. I see you guys on Sunday, and the Sensei and I will be back on Tuesday. Y'all have a great night. Go watch the football. Go eat some steak. Take the red pill. Y'all have a good night. Oh, boy.
3 seasons in, and we're just getting started. You've heard the whispers. You've felt the shift. Now it's time to face the boss. Welcome to Season 3 of the Final Boss Podcast, where every episode is a power move, every guest is a game changer, and every Tuesday, a tech takeover, and every Monday is motivational with special guest Thursdays, and sitting down with the Final Boss Sundays, hosted by Turbotheceo, the architect of insight, the voice of the underground, and your guide through the glitch. Plug in, lock on. This is the Final Boss Podcast. Season 3 starts now.